New regulations have been added to the Physical Planning and Development Act. Chief Physical Planning Officer Karen Augustine says these give the Development Control Authority the power to enforce proper planning and development of land. These are the land development regulations, which includes the St. Lucia Building Code, which will provide clearer construction guidelines to ensure safety and compliance. The updated Environmental Impact Assessment Regulations will provide new protocols for assessing environmental impacts to protect the natural environment.
Having the regulations gives us a greater ability to represent the responsibilities of that legislation at the courts. So persons can be comforted knowing that in building or in developing according to the regulations, we are more in accordance with the provisions of the law. In going forward, we see that the regulations will put a better structure in how persons develop. So for example, with the land development regulations, you have what is called setbacks. Persons are required to build a particular setback from the property boundary to their structure. That is what is called a setback. Setbacks provide privacy. They allow for, in case there's an emergency, for emergency personnel to move between those setbacks, to have access to structures. It allows for the structure to breathe so that you have light and air coming into the structure. So all these now form part of our regulations.
To align with these updates to the Act, the DCA will implement new application forms and a revised fee structure. These will be mandatory for all submissions to the DCA from March 1st, 2025.
Currently, we are operating with two forms, which is called the building form and the subdivision form. The idea is that going forward, so as of 1st March, we will have what is called forms where you call permission to develop land and forms for approval in principle.
The updated application forms and detailed fee structure will be available for download on the DCA's website.
The forms are available at the National Printery. They are also available right here at the physical planning section at the clerk, so they can be easily accessed. We also have the legislations that are available via QR code, so this is also something that is downloadable that anybody can have access to. It's displayed right at our front counter, and as I mentioned, you can get the forms at the clerk, which is also available on our floor.
According to the Chief Physical Planning Officer, the updated forms will streamline the application process and ensure efficient service delivery by the DCA. For the DBS News World, St. Romulus reporting.